What are you doing? Oh, I'm just checking some stuff. Oh, you're just checking some stuff. Well, I'm gonna give you the count of 5 to get your ass out that door before I breach you into Earth 6001. 5. No, you see, it's not a big deal. It's not really. It's just I'm just like clicking a bit of the mouse and just playing a bit of 4. You're still counting. No, it's not 1. Okay. I'll go. Just one thing. Can I perhaps maybe just sort of quickly try that breach? No. It'll be really quickly. Ned. Fine. Be like that. It'll be on. Oh, can't touch my stuff. Can't touch my feet. You gotta be so mean. Oh, yeah, it's yours, not mine. Yeah. Idiot. Welcome to Red's Effects, the place for newbies, indies, as well as low budgeters. This week, guys, we're going to be breaching through the multiverse thanks to this request from Pradeep Kumar, where he asked, "Can you do the breach effect, please?" Well, you did say the magic word, so okay. To accomplish this effect, we're going to be needing some really high quality breach assets. Luckily, our friends over at Production Crate have us covered once again, as they always do, with these amazing, sweet, cool looking breach effects at multiple different angles. So hit the description, take a look at some of those, and then shoot your footage to match, download the assets, and what? How is it about me trying that breach? No, you can't. No. You also want to grab a clean plate as well when you're shooting your footage, as I have done right over here, as doing this effect without it is pretty much impossible. I also want to mention that my friend Grant also has a cool tutorial on breaches on his channel. He has his own download pack, but the thing about his tutorial is that he actually goes into Cinema 4D, which is a 3D manipulation program, and actually shows you how to create your own breaches. So if you work in Cinema 4D and are interested in creating some of your own custom breach assets, definitely check out Grant's video. But other than that, definitely download some of the breaches down below, grab your footage, and then we can jump into Hitfilm and we can... What? I know you should know, but can I tie that breach? Ned, I already told you no. So why don't you keep your big mouth shut before I come over there and So here we are in Hitfilm, my fellow breachers, comp created, footage in it, assets imported, all good, let's go. So as you can see, I have that clean plate I told you to record sitting in the timeline for a few seconds. Then, before it ends, my actual teleport in clip starts of me jumping out of the, at that point, invisible portal looking like a madman. So let's start by dragging our chosen breach asset into the timeline. Another great thing about these assets is that the beginning is pre-animated, which means less work for us. Next, we'll make it a 3D layer and tweak the various position, size, and rotation controls until it fits snugly into our shot. This will be different for your shot, of course, but as long as you shot your footage to match, there shouldn't be much to do here other than scaling it up or down. Righto, now we can work on blending it into our scene. This process is a bit different because when it comes to things like explosions, fire, and other stock footage, we have a visual in our minds of what that would look like in real life, whereas breaches, well, let's just say I doubt you'll see one tomorrow. So we'll do it by eye, and basically, whatever looks good is right. The first thing I'll add is the curves effect, so let's head up to the effects panel, color correction, and then apply the curves effect. Here, to match my footage a bit better, I'll just increase the brightness a bit and add a tiny bit of contrast in to match that. We also don't want this breach to look too sharp compared to our footage, so how do we fix that? A good old lens blur, of course. So let's return to the effects panel, open blurs, and drag the lens blur effect onto our layer. Right off the bat, the effect has gone a bit crazy and added a buttload of blur. For my shot though, I only want to add about 2 to 5 pixels, and I'm sure it'll be the same for yours as well. Okay, final step with the breach itself is to add a little bit of glow. So let's visit the effects panel once again and then search for and apply the glow effect. Here my settings are as follows. Set the intensity to 0.2, the threshold to 70, the radius to 120, and finally the blend mode to add. This just makes the element pop a little bit more, but you can of course change the settings to whatever you'd like. Except if you want to do this, because that'll just be dumb, so don't do that. Okay, the next part of this tutorial is going to include some rotoscoping, and I know most of you know what that is, but for the one guy right at the back of the class, yes, you over there, I'm going to guess your name is... Pillow. Let me quickly explain what rotoscoping is. Yep, that about sums it up. In all honesty, when it comes to this particular effect, it's not that bad. I'm just really allergic to rotoscoping. But if you do own a green screen, then definitely shoot yourself on it. Save yourself the time, save yourself the effort of going through frame by frame, masking yourself out. Don't be a hero. But since I don't own a green screen, and I'm sure most of you don't, we'll be doing it the good old-fashioned rotoscoping way. Let's go. Right, let's get this going. I'll head to the point where my second shot starts, and then, at that point, duplicate the clip. We can then select the mask tool and cut our actor out of the frame. Once you've done that, we can turn on keyframing for the mask path and go frame by frame, making sure that the mask stays around your actor. About 10 frames of this will do, so not that much. Make this as detailed as you possibly can. The more effort you put in, the better and more badass it'll look once you're done. Right there, my actor has been masked out and keyframed for about 10 frames. After those frames, as you can see, the duplicate layer stops and the original layer continues. So we now have our actor in front of the breach. Great. Okay, let's click bend the plus icon and create a new black plane and set its plane mode to add. We can then drop on the light flares effect. In the preset controls, I'll change the type to digital stripe. Then we can increase the size and drop the gamma just a touch. I also want to boost the saturation and twist that hue dial to get more of a blue color tone. Let's drag it over our actor and head to a few frames before he appears. We can also set the flare intensity to 0 and turn on keyframing. We can now head forward until 2 frames after our actor is on screen and jack that number up to anywhere between 2 and 5. Now let's progress about 5 or 6 frames and drop it all the way back down to 0. Back at the start of our actor layer, let's turn on keyframing for the opacity and set it to 0. Move forward about 4 frames and then boost it back up to 100. Okay, once your flares are all faded out, we can end off our breach by keyframing the scale down to 0 over about 5 frames. Remember to turn on motion blur for that as well. Our last and final step is to add some environment lighting. Now this is just like every single time we've done it before in the past, so let's quickly zap through it. First, we'll click bend the plus icon once again and create a brand new grade layer. Then, on top of that grade layer, we'll throw on the curves effect. In the curves controls, let's boost that curve up nicely until we get a nice bright shot. And then, I'll switch over to the blue channel and pump that up a tiny bit. We'll then do the same for the green channel just so we have a nice even tone. And then finally, pull a little bit of the red channel down so we have a nice popping blue tint. Then let's use the masking tool to cut our grade layer around our surrounding areas. This way, the breach's lighting will only affect the areas closest to it. We can then feather that mask nicely so it blends into the background. You can then keyframe this mask's opacity to fade in with our breach asset. And that's basically it, guys. But there are 2 additional things you can add to spruce it up a bit more. First is on top of our rotoscope actor layer. Let's search for and apply the light trap effect. Here, I set the radius to 25 and the opacity to 0.8. As you can see, this creates the appearance of light bleeding around our actor caused by the breach. What you can also do is download a few of these loopable bokeh assets from Production Crate. Then all you gotta do is drop them in, mask off what you want, change the color to blue easily by using the hue colorize effect. We can do this by selecting the blue preset. We can also add a very slight lens blur to it, maybe about 5 or 10 pixels, and then finally drop the opacity to about 40 to 50%. They love to do this with any light-based effects on the Flash TV show, so why not replicate it? Other than that, guys, follow all those steps, open a breach, visit Earth 2, poke some fun at Harry, and you should end up with something that looks a bit like this. Am I the only one that thinks that these breaches, they look a bit, they look delicious? I mean, don't get me wrong, but they all look so watery and fluid, and they look like slushies, if you think about it, like, you know, raspberry flavored slushies. I'm just saying, I mean, if I was going through one, I'd just, you know, take a sip on the way in. I mean, is it just me? It's just me. Oh, it's just me. Okay. Anyway, guys, be sure to check out production kit listed in the description. First of all, for those bleach assets. Second of all, for all the other amazing assets that they have on their website, as well as their YouTube channel, which is growing at a really nice pace. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Please leave a like down below. And Ned, for God's sakes, hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for some other videos that'll be on this end screen of this video, as well as subscribe down below. And I will see you in the next video.